Hello, my food mood friend. How you doing? Welcome back. I'm in a silly mood. I am in a video role right now, and I am wanting to dive into the topic of good enough parenting.
Welcome! Here is your hostess and coach, Chandra Zas, helping people make food and mood changes doable without missing out. Go ahead, high five that like button, subscribe and share while you're there.
I was talking to one of my really dear friends and collaborators, Sean, who's an early childhood educator, and he brought up this concept a while ago now. It's still really sticking with me. And what he was telling me about, what he's noticing is with all these parents that there's like this striving to be perfect. And he was like, I really think that there needs to be a movement of good enough parenting. And this concept has really like I've been chewing on it in my brain of like, what are the downfalls? Like I know when I think about my own journey into my own worthiness and believing that I was enough as I am was huge. Like when we're in that good enough or not enough space, when we're in that lack of that scarcity, that unworthiness, it's it zaps our life force, and it makes us show up small, and it makes us show up trying to people please and prove ourselves. It makes us show up like unauthentic. It makes us show up kind of weird and not ourselves. And then what's really interesting is that like the result, what happens from that is that we actually are like less of ourself. We actually show up not as fully authentic, not as fully alive, not as fully ourself. And what's interesting is that it's like comes from this thought. And so often it happens like unconsciously. We like have an unconscious thought that like I'm not good enough, or I'm not lovable, or I'm not enough, or I'm not doing well enough, or I'm doing it wrong. Like there's all these like little tiny thoughts that oftentimes we're not even aware that we think, but they're like underneath our brain. Their thoughts like in our mind, in our subconscious and our unconscious. So I really like applying this to parenting and thinking about like there's this crazy innate drive, and I'm sure it's in every single human, to want to give our kids the best. Like there's a innate drive. Like,
hello, my friend. How are you? I'm in the Dead Sea, floating in the water. Go ahead and like and share and follow so we can keep in touch.
Like our love for our little one and wanting to make sure that they, have the best. But there's also this place of like, if they're happy and if they're good, then our lives are easier. So there's like this interconnected space where we want to give our kids the best because we love them, but we also want to give our kids the best so that like we can sleep through the night, and so that they're not screaming and yelling and sick and unwell. Like when our kids are not doing well, it makes our jobs harder. So there's this multiple motivators for being a good enough parent. And what's tricky is that like it can really go overboard. We can go into that perfectionist, into that it has to be right and that everything has to be right and there can't be any mistakes, and it has to be this like this perfect way that we have to do it the best. And it's a really dangerous place to get, because then it's like the other side of the coin, right? We're like not, it's the other side of scarcity. Like we're over driving, which then takes away from the acceptance and the presence. Like if acceptance and presence are the middle line, like I think that the ultimate emotions for a parent are like patience. Patience is like, I think every single parent wants to be more patient. Patient is like, it's like the holy emotion of parenthood is like patience. Like I think that if we could like bottle up and sell patience or buy patience, if I could just go buy some patience, wow, how cool would that be? But patience is just a feeling that comes from a mindset. And if like we're thinking that things aren't going right, and we're thinking that things are supposed to be a certain way and they're supposed to be perfect, and everything's going wrong, we don't have any patience. So patience starts with and comes from our mind. And one of the doorways to look at this and to go into this is like, enough. Am I enough? Am I doing a good enough job parenting? Or I'm not doing a good enough job parenting. Finding these thoughts that that sabotage us, that sabotage our true ability and our authentic ability to show up present and accepting. I think one of the most, and this is also like comes from my conversations with Sean. I'm going to tag him in these videos so he can hear these, and he's amazing. Is he talks a lot about, and I've been really thinking about how this applies to my parents, is he talks a lot about grounding, closing the loop, grounding our nervous system, and that kids can't regulate their own nervous system until, I don't know if it's 18 or 22, or I think he said 22 is what he knows of. And that one of the most important things that we can give our kids is a grounded nervous system, a well-regulated, he calls it closed loop, deep breaths and feet on the ground, and like really showing up emotionally stable, which is what my terms of like a closed loop nervous system, well-regulated nervous system are his words. When we show up emotionally stable, which is like grounded and patient and compassionate, it's one of the best gifts that we can give our kids. It's the gift of them like learning how to feel comfortable in their own skin, learning how to like feel regulated. Like they learn so much from us. They learn everything from us. And they even learn on the subconscious, unconscious, nervous system, emotionally regulated place. So doing this work on ourself it's one of the biggest gifts that we can give our kids. Not only ourselves, because then feeling more patient, feeling more at peace, feeling more calm. What parent doesn't want more of that? So but most of us will throw ourselves under the bus thinking, oh, I'm just going to keep giving my kid. But really the best thing we can often do is actually give ourselves this space of emotional regulation where we're doing our practices and taking the time and spending our own attention, our own energy on regulating ourselves, on feeling our feet on the ground. It's such a simple yet very profound act of like feeling your feet on the ground. If you're standing right now, I recommend that or maybe actually stand up. Maybe I'll actually stand up right now also with you. I'm just going to do this. You're going to see part of my body. I'm here. But I want to do this with you. So let's just like put your feet on the ground. Oh, this is funny. You only can see part of my body. But put your feet on the ground. And you can't see my feet. How about this? I'm going to change this. And we're going to see my feet here. You're going to see the pillows on the ground. So here's the feet on the ground, right? Oop, you only see part of my feet. There's my feet off the ground. Feet on the ground. So like actually feel your feet. Like if you look at my hands, if you look at the energy going down into the ground, so like actually imagine like you're grounding yourself. You're physically pushing your energy and connecting to the earth. So it's really that simple, and yet it has a profound effect on our nervous system and on how we feel. So regulating our emotions. Let me get this video. Okay. So feeling our feet on the ground and breathing, like regulating our nervous system, investing in that simple and yet profound practice that we have available to us at any time. Breathing. Close the loop. Feel the energy. Feel yourself. That's what we can offer kids. Now, I want to come back to the good enough piece. So, what if good enough is being present? Now, I'm purposely not just saying just being present, because being present is a huge job. Really being present with yourself, with your kids, with the chaos, with the moment, with the hecticness, with the problems. Presence. It's such a powerful thing to give everybody. And presence with what is, and presence with watching our mind, catching the thoughts that I'm not doing good enough, I could do better, and thinking and fully investing in a mindset and a belief system that I am enough. My parenting is good enough. What if exactly what is happening right now is perfect as it is? What if exactly what is good enough? And it's a really, really useful practice to lean into, and a mental practice, a mindset practice. Catch yourself when you have that thought, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing good enough, not a good enough parent. Catch those thoughts. They're going to overwhelm you. They're going to make you feel scarcity. They're going to make you feel like you're not good enough. And then you're going to show up less like yourself. So there's an option to question those thoughts, to notice those thoughts, and to just offer your brain the idea, what if this is good enough? What if exactly how it is good enough? I know that I grew up with the mindset of not being good enough. And when I broke this mindset and when I changed this and when I intentionally really worked on believing and thinking that I am enough as I am, wow, it's a really powerful, relaxing, full body, nervous system looped closing, present, enough place to be. And from there, it's so much easier to show up than it is when we're thinking that we're not enough, when we're not good enough parents, when we're not good enough people, when we're not good enough partners, when we're not good enough moms or dads or whatever it is. Not good enough in my business, not good enough in my work, not good enough. What usefulness is this thought? Now I want to offer you that it's possible that you can offer yourself, offer your brain, I am good enough. I'm a good enough parent. I am good enough. And see what happens when you think that thought. See what happens when you believe that you're enough as you are. What's really cool is that what happens is that we actually are able to give more. We actually become more of who we want to be. We actually show up in the ways that we want to show up. It's a cool trick, huh? Good enough parenting, good enough, good enough, good enough, good enough. I mean, I'm all about change. You know me, I'm all about change. I'm all about up-leveling. I'm all about becoming the next version of myself. I'm all about improving and becoming better. And part of that journey includes this mindset piece of I am enough, just as I am. I am enough. You are enough. We are enough. Our kids are enough. They don't need to be better. They don't need to be anything other than they are. It's a really, really powerful place to come to. It's a mindset. All right, my food mood friend, thank you so much for your time and attention. If you're listening to, wherever you're listening to this, please go, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and give me a follow so we can stay in touch and you can get more of this. And when you're ready to take this work to the next level and implement it into your life, let's do it. Reach out to me. Let's get this party started. Have a beautiful day. See you soon.